OMG, OMG, oh my god, post moves. But actually, I think post is really exciting. First thing I'll say is my philosophy really started from Hakeem Olajuwon. If you don't know who he is, he's arguably the best footwork of any center ever. And he has training tapes working with Kobe, LeBron James, and Dwight Howard. These guys go to him in the offseason to work with him. So you should check out his videos because that's where a lot of my stuff came from. But my game is really tempered by the fact that I'm a guard at heart. So I have a lot of guard skills that Hakeem doesn't necessarily practice. So I've got some sweet stuff I can add in as well. First thing I'll say is basic philosophy of Hakeem. And I'm taking this from him. You could probably tell him I said this, and he'd probably say, yep, this is true. I really believe that the philosophy is really delaying choosing your pivot foot. If the defender does not know which foot is your pivot foot, it makes you extremely hard to guard, as they don't know which shoulder you're going to turn over, right? It makes it really hard to guard. So before I catch the ball in the post, I am always going to have both of my feet planted and be in a position where I can see most of the floor if I can. And having both feet planted, especially if I'm taking a little jump before, allows me to turn over either shoulder and the defense says no way, which I'm going. I can shoulder fake or ball fake one way and turn the other way, right? So that's really what the post is all about. To me, that's what makes it so easy. Something that I'll say is I'm 6 foot, 160. I'm a little guy, right? I mean, in pickup situations, sometimes I'll be bigger, but in general, I'm a little guard, and I'll be posting up on bigger guys. First thing to think about is its relative size. If I'm 6 foot, 160, but the guy who's guarding me is smaller, then who cares, right? I mean, who cares how big I am? It's relative size. But if I'm posting a bigger defender, that's fine too. It's just a way for me to get the ball closer to the basket. If he's really physical with me, I could just look to pass out. It's just for floor spacing. But really, it's just get to close to the basket. You know, Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant. These are shooting guards who developed a really good post game. So that they've learned from Hakeem as well. So I don't know about Michael, but I would imagine he took notes from Hakeem. So what you're seeing me do is I am starting up farther up from the block. I usually have been posting too close to the block in the game, which means when I turn baseline, I'm usually too far under the basket to actually get a shot. So I usually look for far corner as a pass. Is usually what I'm doing. So I'm practicing posting a little farther out. Jumping the catch, shoulder fake, now, and then establish either pivot foot right here. So I'm really cycling through my various moves. It would be nice to go back and say this is what I'm doing for each thing, but really what I'm doing is trying to go through a series of counters and counter moves and so forth. And what I'm doing right now is shoulder fake and then shoulder fake again. So at the very start, they don't know which shoulder I'm going to turn. I turn middle and I might have just lost them. If they stick with me, I shoulder fake again. They don't know which way I'm going to turn. I might turn right, I might turn left. So that's what really this is all about. So I'm just practicing that. And now I'm practicing face-ups. Face-up is good just so I can use my guard moves. I am going to sweep through hard, and that creates space. It also makes them sometimes reach or think that it's like basically a jab to the right, so I can often go to the left. Something that I'll reiterate over and over in this because I'm very excited by this concept is the no-shot jump in this, which you're going to see some of that from me, where I'll do a fake and then I shoot it without jumping, like right there. And that is really hard to defend because defenders will read your shot from. See that? That's hard. That's actually really hard to defend, and it makes defenders look silly because they don't even get a hand up. It's really hard to defend because defenders will read your shot from your lower body, and if you never move your lower body, you just pump with your upper body and then shoot strictly with your upper body, which you can do when you're this close to the basket. The defender just can't. It's just they don't know when to contest, right? And if they put a hand up, you might just go by them or whatever. So that's what I'm practicing here. My face-up game, so I can use guard skills. I face up much more on the left block, on the right block. as a right-hander, I prefer the right block, even though it results in a lot more left-hand layups, just because there's better lefty shots. So now what I'm doing is catching it, immediately going into a face-up, into a spin, back to the left-hand finish. This is a fun move. Post moves that happened that I didn't really get to talk about is just shooting over the right shoulder, shooting over the left shoulder, shooting over the left shoulder off a pump fake, shooting over the left shoulder, or pump fake off the left shoulder drive, shooting over the right shoulder off a pump fake off the right shoulder drive. Those seem to be the main ones that I did before I started talking about specifically what we're doing. Yeah, and now I'm working on counters to that face-up spin move back. If they see a face-up and then spin move, then maybe I'll just go like this. And you're seeing me like pick up the ball on my right hand, which is like would be maybe a carry if I put the ball back in the ground. But I find that one protects the ball as it's far from your defender, although maybe a help defender can swipe at it. But it makes it unclear whether you're going to put the ball back on the ground again or not. So I found that to be pretty useful. Now I'm going back to the original stuff from a farther post up. Catch, shoulder fake, turn over the right shoulder, catch, shoulder fake, turn over the left shoulder off a pump fake, no jump. Yeah, post is super fun. Whether you're a guard or not, it's just a useful thing to have. Yeah, there's the no shot jump, which is a little bit different. You have to practice your arm, doing all arms in it. So it'll often be short when you're just starting off. It also is really helpful practice for shooting from threes or from deeper, because it lets you get the arms down. Now here's a shot that I do sometimes. I like to jump when I'm pretty bouncy. The timing of the shot is really weird, and I like to do this sometimes. It's just like a jump turnaround. A lot of the times, well, I've only hit 1 of 3 so far, but I'm just warming up. Small sample size, but it's just awkward timing for the defender, and often this is a shot that you can get off pretty easily. So it's just something that they need to be aware that you might just shoot out of nowhere. Another thing you're going to see me do a lot of the time is move towards the baseline, like I did on the last one, and then move back towards the basket in order to seal the defender in my butt so he can't block me, right? Now what I'm doing is working on drop steps. Drop step is basically where you get your foot as far behind the defender as you can before just abruptly spinning and laying it up. Because if you get your foot behind those closer to the basket, then you can have an open layup. You're seeing me practice doing this. Put the ball on one side and then so it looks like I'm going to go one way and then drop step in the other direction, which is a good way to set this up. So now we're going to move to the left block. I want to be able to pass into it, so I actually need to move to another basket. And it's the summer at this gym, which has 4 empty courts for me right now, so I got to do whatever the hell I want. Now, left block is a bit different because as a right-handed shooter, the immediate shot is a lot harder. So I usually will face up as my first option out of the lefty block, and most post players will have a preference or whatever. So the first thing you're seeing me do, and this is super fun, you can steal this if you want, I recommend you do, and you can imagine how hard this is to defend. If I face up and I have space and you just see me doing that, the shot just goes up. There's no legs. You might just not jump and the shot just went up and your teammates are like, get a hand up or whatever, right? Now I'm practicing up and unders. I don't remember if I practiced that on the other side. I did, but I didn't mention. Up and unders off the dribble. No, okay, well, I'm just kind of rotating through, doing various things. There was a face up into fade away, face up into pump fake, fade away. And from this close, fading away is completely reasonable. So again, you're seeing me do this from pretty close to the basket. Or sorry, yeah, okay, obviously, because I'm going to try to get good position in post. I guess I'll talk about getting position briefly. I usually am not going to fight down from the wing to get position. I'm usually going to come from the opposite side if I can. Or get close to the basket and then move out from there, basically. Get as low as I can underneath them or whatever. The lower man wins the war or whatever. if I'm trying to fight them all the way down, it's better to just start under the basket and let them kind of move you out, you know, and just be right outside of the block so you didn't get that 3-second. So here's up and under, off the dribble. Again, with the face up, you're doing a really fast sweep through to create space. And here you're seeing that seal move, where if you, I'll see, hopefully I do it again. No, I'm doing a reverse, which I missed badly. Lefty reverse. Need to work on this one, as you're going to see a couple misses. But you're going to see more of this where I get underneath the basket and then come back underneath for a seal. So I need to practice this one more, or throw a righty reverse, but you know, this doesn't come up too often for me. Lefty reverse, but there it is. Start to get it, you know. Just miss a couple, and then I'll figure it out. Bam, sweep through. While we're here, I'll mention why I'm barefoot, or in toe socks rather. It doesn't matter too much being in shoes here, because something about the post, once you take the physicality out, if there's no defender, all that really matters is where my feet are going to go, right? So that's what all this is about, is, you know, I don't need to go through it fast, I just need to know where my feet are going to go. I'm not going to take very many steps while I'm down here in the post, right, because it's so compact that footwork is maybe even more important than as a guard. You can cheat less. So by being barefoot, I can just focus on the footwork and not really worry about my speed too much. So that's kind of why I'm doing that. Now I'm working on my turnarounds, turn around from one side, turn around to the other side. Either pivot foot, they don't know which one I'm going to go and I'm going to turn. I find that this is a little bit harder for me than shooting on the other side, just the angles or whatever, but I don't know, it's going in just as much. Since I've changed my jump shot, it's probably about the same, but I just still have the mentality of wanting to post. Now here we have me doing up and under. If they've seen me knock a couple of these turnarounds down, I'm going to turn, and then if they pump fake, I can just go right by them, and depending on which hand they close out to, right? I might be able to go left, I might be able to go right, so I'm practicing from both sides. Now I'm practicing pump fake. Here you're going to see me miss this a bunch of times in a row, but I'm in good position to get my own rebound. This is the seal that I'm talking about. Go under the basket, and then take your shot moving out from the basket. So this is something I learned from some solid post players at my gym. You know, they just drive slowly down there, get under the basket, and then move out. You can't block it from behind because of the direction they're moving. Even if they miss long, they're in great position to get their own rebound. So yeah, this is me choosing which shoulder to turn over, and then kind of deciding. I'm just rotating through as many various moves and counter moves as I can, really. You know, I'm not doing X of each, or you know, I'm just kind of doing moves as they come to me, based on doing one move and then throwing a counter at the other move. Or whatever, but I mean, I think that like post is just really fun, really complex, lots of decisions, and if you're a guard, it's going to make you better at the post because you can have this deadly array of turnarounds, which makes it so hard to defend. And if you're just a big guy who gets thrown down there, trying to do this with hook shots and stuff like that, I think is way harder. Having like a perimeter shot that you can take to the post just makes you pretty deadly down here. As you see with guys like Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, and LeBron James is starting to get there. We'll see more of it as his career goes on. Here we're doing, you know, shoulder fake. It's either foot, turn one way, pump fake, see what they do. No leg shot, so it makes it pretty hard for them to get a hand up and block. So at this point, oh, and there's a same move, but if they close out to my right hand, I can step through, right? Now I'm practicing the Hakimiest of the Hakeem Olajuwons, which is where you catch it and it's either shoulder, and then you take one dribble and then establish either foot as your pivot foot and then shoulder fake again. This is just the most Hakeem Olajuwon thing of all time, and it's really effective. It just makes you so hard to guard down here. Because they just don't know which shoulder you're going to go. They have to guess. They might just guess the wrong one, right? This is how I play the post. You know, I'm coming in as a 6-foot guard who's a perimeter player first. I think that if you're a guard, this is a good way to go about being a post player. I'm sure there's other, you know, there's other go-tos out there, and there's other moves to have that I've missed, and there's other keys. You know, I'm not spending so much time explaining any one thing I'm doing. I'm just kind of rotating through. Main takeaways you can definitely take as any kind of a post player is mask your pivot foot. Mask your pivot foot before you catch the ball and after you pick up your dribble. Either way, just makes things really easy. Other key takeaways is, especially in the post, shooting without jumping is really, really deadly. Those are the main things that I have to say. But I hope you find this useful for those of you guys who are guards, because this is mostly a point guard and elite guard channel. Look for opportunities to post. If you're on a team with tons of post players or tons of perimeter players, you find yourself screening a lot of people into plays, and you want to get more touches, start posting up. That's just a good way to do it. It doesn't matter if you're small. It doesn't matter if you're relatively small. The key is just getting down there, getting a good position, and getting the ball. And I will say the one thing you're really not seeing from me here is passing out of the post. And that is the key of the post, in my opinion. I like having good post moves, but I only have good post moves to force double teams. Double teams are going to happen, and they're good if they happen because as a guard, point guard, I know to pass to the open man. So, a lot of playing the post, if you're not necessarily the most experienced, just get good position, get the ball, and then just wait for the double team. Which is usually going to happen, and pass out. So that's playing in the post. I'll have more of these videos at some point, but that's basically the way I play it as of right now. And I'll try to get some highlights of me playing post up in the coming months because super fun, super useful.